parishioners, if we could have everyone's attention at the Tabernacle of Hedonism, please. Could we please have everyone's attention? Could we please have everyone's attention?
Yes.
It is near midnight. We are in the presence of Father O'Brien, who has arrived at the Tabernacle. Please give him a round of applause. Last week at the Tabernacle of Hedonism meeting, we took a vote. Not all of the senior clergy was present, but we did have a quorum, and not all were in favor, but the predominant order was that we would perform a ritual exorcism of Governor Rick Scott. As a church, based on what we heard last week, we have determined that he is under the influence of evil and is impacting our world in a negative way. We want to help him. We want good in the world, not evil. You can see that this force has reached all the way into our church. And so, therefore, because we have voted it so, Father O'Brien is here to perform the ritual rite of exorcism on Governor Rick Scott. It is my duty, and Father O'Brien authorized me to let you know in a very specific way that a particular object has gone missing from the Vatican. It is the type of object which holds the type of power required for an exorcism such as this. I don't want to say much more about that object, only that it potentially could be in use today. We didn't take it. But it is missing from the Vatican. At any rate, thank you for those of you who did show up and who were courageous enough to be here for this. It's important. It has been blessed by the Reverend Angel Dust, who is in the back meditating.
Hi.
Reverend?
Yes.
If you would one more time bless this event, and then I will be happy to introduce Father O'Brien to take over and perform the ritual rite of exorcism on Governor Rick Scott.
Hallelujah. God is us, everyone. And God has blessed and exercised Rick Scott. Rick Scott needs exercise. Hallelujah. Let's exercise Rick Scott. He needs it. Yes. So exercise Rick Scott a lot more, and we will have a happier Rick Scott and a happier Florida. Hallelujah.
And thanks to the Reverend Angel Dust for presenting it in such an uplifting and humorous way. But he knows the serious nature of what we're truly doing and how important it is, not only for our state and our country, but also for the world. And so it is without further trepidation please welcome to the stage Father O'Brien.
It's been quite some time. It's good to be home. And the seriousness of this occasion is what's in question, because when you dabble in anything like this, even in this sort of environment, you have to really be careful what you're doing. You don't just fuck around, because you can open a door. Just because you're not a locksmith, you go fumbling around with a lock long enough, it's going to open. So, when you fuck around with a lock, make sure you're prepared for what lies behind that door. And we are going to be fucking around with some locks tonight. Now, the way we're doing this is very, very off the book. Because normally with an exorcism, you're in the company of the individual who is possessed. Well, that's not the case, as you can very well see. We have images, thanks to Mr. Miller, Tom Miller, of Governor Rick Scott. Now, the intention here is intention. It is our intention as a group, as a joint of energy, as individual heartbeats, individual souls coming together and focusing on what is good and what we want for ourselves, as our families, our friends, our nation, and our world. And it's not to hurt the gentleman. It's not to do anything to him. It's what the energy that possesses him that we are contending with here. I want to make that perfectly clear. I want nothing to happen to this man. If anything happens to him after this ritual, it's purely coincidental, and I assure you of that. Now, there's three things that can happen tonight. Because I think this is going to be an ongoing thing we're going to have to do. There's three things that can come from this. One, he's going to get very sick. And then there'll be some changes, and we'll notice something. Two, it's not going to fucking work. And three, maybe he's not possessed, maybe he's just a fucking asshole. So we might be wasting our time, but it's not a waste of time. Anytime you take good energy and you put it together and you focus it with a loving group of people. Because if you can change your mind, you can change the world. It's that fucking simple. It's not up to him to make the world a better place. It's up to us, individually. Because every heartbeat in this room I love dearly. It's my favorite song. It's my favorite percussive beat. It's hypnotic. I share the same drummer. So let's get our drummers together and play some fucking funky music to get this asshole to look at the world and help. Not be a fucking piece of fucking cunt, art-killing, theatre-killing, education-killing trash, but be a viceroy for hope, peace, and love, and let's get this thing moving. There was an item mentioned that went missing from the Vatican library, if you will. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this institution, but their library is fucking huge. And it's got all sorts of stuff that they don't want us to look at. This being one of them. I don't know how it got here, but it did. This is a missing link. This is an artifact. Now, this is a reproduction of the artifact. And it's here for your examination. Now, the original is in possession of a colleague, I will say, of mine. This is a duplicate. And it's a very strange skull, if you call it that. And you can come up here and look at it. It's very strange. Now, the original is in pieces in the back, and it has been reconfigured in some sloppy manner with a type of plaster, and it appears to be very, very old. And according to what I was told, the skull itself is 250,000 years old. And it's very, very interesting specimen that I have here for anyone to take a look at. I can throw it out in the audience if you like. But there seems to be some deviations in the cranium on this side. It appears to be some sort of surgery has occurred. And on this side as well you can see something, as if it had happened earlier and they're fueled at different times. But it's very unique, very, very interesting. And it's one of those things that if the powers that be knew it was missing, first they'll pretty soon discover it. But it's something they kill people over. Because this is one of those keys that will unlock a door, many doors, to a wisdom that they don't want us to have. Because we are powerful beyond and they've kept us asleep. In this country in particular, freedom is a fence. And Buddha says the best way to control your cattle is to give them wide open fields in which to roam. Well, we are the cows, and they've given us wide open fields in which to roam, and they've said we are free. But the fucking cows have found the fence. They didn't think we would walk that far. We found the fence. So, my brothers, sisters, and all you beautiful souls that lie in between, help me tear down the fucking fence and enlighten and unlock the doors of the minds of people like this. Now, this isn't going to be a normal hokey-pokey ceremonial bullshit exorcism. That's why I was kicked out of the church. Now, I don't accept that. Because I want people to wake up. I want them to see what they are hiding. And I was a threat. I'm not a threat. I am a locksmith. And that needs to be seen by everyone. And the thousands, if not millions of other things they have hidden. There's a reason they have them hidden. Not because they care about them, or they're valuable, or they're fragile. It's because they're dangerous. Because they wake up cows. And they tell the cows there's been a fence all along. So moo, moo, moo. Which is backwards for home. If you think about it, perhaps cows are more religious than we thought. The dyslexic cows say, oh.
So now, I would like everyone to clear your minds of negativity, of your day, of your stress. Anyone that's pissed you off, including yourself, clear your mind of it. I want you to focus on love and forgiveness. I want you to think of the one person in this world that drives you insane, that you almost hate, that allows you to exercise these negative emotions. I want you to think of that individual as one exists. And right now, I want you to forgive that individual. I want you to picture them hanging off the cliff, and you're the only one there. They're losing their grip. And you reach down and you help them up. Picture that. And when you get them up, you hug them. And you say, fuck off. And you go your separate ways. But love your enemy. I need help. So I would like for you, John, to do, if you come up here, please, right? And we've got to, first of all, attract the muses and change the frequency of the room. Is everyone okay with that? If there are any demons or energies here, they will present themselves. So it may get interesting, or it may just be boring as fuck. But right now, we are going to spray the room, if you will. Now, all I need you to do, sire, is basically no standing for a good button. Out, in, out, in. Nope, stay right now. Right here, maestro. Loud.
All that did was change the frequencies. Got one in A and one in C, and it creates this overtone. Now, if you notice over in these areas, I had a problem getting the bowl to ring, and then here, who knows what that was? Could have been nothing. Could have been I hit it.
Exorcisamos te, omnes immunes spiritus, omnes satanicus
Something got in the way.
omnes incursion venalis et desari, omnes legio, omnes congregatio, etc. diabolica. Ergo, draco maledicte, omnes legio diabolica, ageramos te, cesset sipere humanas creaturas, iesque eterne didiones venenum propenare. Vade satana, evento emergiste omnes fallaciae, hostes sumene salutis, reales appetenti melodei, consumisce et effuge invocato an presentor et libene nomine, quae infere tremem. Abensias diaboli, liberanos domine. Exorcisamos te, omnes immundes spiritus, omnes satanico potestas, omnes incursio et venalis adversari, omnes legio, omnes congregatio, etc. diabolica. Ergo, draco maledicte et omnes legio diabolica, ageramos te, cesset sipere humanas creaturas iesque eterne benedictiones venenum propenare, ut ecclesiam tuam securat de facias libertate servire, terrogamus ad illos. Exorcisamos te, omnes immundes spiritus, omnes satanico potestas, omnes incursion venalis adversari, omnes legio, omnes congregatio, etc. diabolica. Ergo, draco maledicte et omnes legio diabolica, ageramos te, cesset sipere humanas creaturas iesque eterne didiones venenum propenare. Vade satana, inventor emergiste omnes fallaciae, hostes sumene salutis, reales appetenti melodei, consumisce et effuge invocato an presentor et libene nomine, quae infere tremem. Abensias diaboli, liberanos domine. Exorcisamos te, omnes immundes spiritus, omnes satanico potestas, omnes incursio et venalis adversari, omnes legio, omnes congregatio, etc. diabolica. Ergo, draco maledicte et omnes legio diabolica, ageramos te, cesset sipere humanas creaturas iesque eterne benedictiones venenum propenare, ut ecclesiam tuam securat in facias libertate servire, terrogamus ad illos.
Now what we have is it any stranger that I ripped a picture up and had just enough pieces to give every person in this room a piece? I didn't count, I promise you that. We have a fragment of the image of a man by the name of Richard Scott. He is the governor of the fine state of Florida. Now, I'm not going to go through a long list of crap. All I want to do is do the right thing and change the world and change his mind through love and understanding that sometimes good people do bad things. Sometimes good people do stupid things, and the repercussions are hideous. What happens, the snowballing effect and the damage that is done to the world through the decisions that one powerful person can make. Just because they're in power, and there are certain, whether it be because of their position in their job, in their family, in their corporation, or in their political system, they can change the world because they have the power. But they are to be our voices. But most of the time they speak for themselves and for corporate interests. Long ago, before the church was contaminated, the priests, the priestess, they faced the opposite direction, with their back to the congregation, focusing the energy towards the deity that way. At some point, the priest, priestess, the Holy One, turned around and faced the congregation. Well, that fucked up the frequency, because now the priest, the priestess, is the focus of attention, giving them an almost god-like, goddess-like glow, if you will. That's when everything started to go wrong. That's when the first Walmart was invented, in a very strange way, even though it was thousands and thousands of years ago. The mentality The change occurred then. No one did anything to stop it. So we've now got a dirty ass to wipe. And the longer the ass stays dirty, the harder it is to chisel off the shite. All I'm going to do is ask you guys to repeat after me in unison, if you would. Rick Scott,
Rick Scott.
please wake the fuck up.
Please wake the fuck up.
Listen not with your wallet.
Listen not with your wallet.
Listen with your heart and your spirit.
Listen with your heart and your spirit.
To the voices of your fellow human beings.
To the voices of your fellow human beings.
To the cries of those who do not speak the language of the humans.
The cries of those who do not speak the language of the humans.
Do what is right in your heart.
Do what is right in your heart.
Do what is right in your soul.
Do what is right in your soul.
And face the mirror for fucking once.
Face the mirror for fucking once.
In the name of all that is beautiful.
In the name of all that is beautiful.
In the frequency of all that is love.
In the frequency of all that is love.
And with the gift of forgiveness.
And with the gift of forgiveness.
We offer you our love.
We offer you our love.
Mr. Scott,
Mr. Scott.
if you do not accept this love,
Do not accept this love.
then the hell to pay will be your own.
The hell today will be your own.
Thank you for that. Each have a fragment of the image of a man in their hand. When we look at it individually, we see nothing. I don't know what portion I have. Somewhere in the middle, it looks like, around this necky area. I don't know. Yeah, okay, see? But without all the pieces, you have no idea what you're looking at. We are the same thing. We are pieces of a bigger image, an image bigger than ourselves. We are strings and horns and voices and a choir that all we need to do is tune our instruments together and we can play a symphony to shake the sands of time. All we have to do is clean our antenna. Society has painted us over the years. Year after year, like the 34th Street wall, layers and layers of paint. Can you imagine how thick that wall is now compared to how it used to be when they first built it, just because of the layers of paint? I would love to take a core sample of that wall and see exactly how thick the layers of paint are. That's what happens to us. They paint our antenna with their bullshit, with their fear, with their plastic, and their venomous products to keep us asleep. They don't want us hearing the signals. So they put layer after layer of paint, building up the layers so we can't receive the signals anymore. And they do it so slowly, so methodically, as if they were National Geographic photographers sneaking slowly up on a pack of wolves in a big yellow tent to study them for their entire lives. And they do it so slowly that the fucking wolves don't even notice this big fucking yellow tent. It's always been there. It's always been there. Well, look around at all the tents. We're surrounded by them. We're surrounded by scientists. They're studying us, and they're keeping us asleep. I would like you to take a piece of paper and crumble it up. It's nothing. This man is nothing. He's no greater than a child. But he's no less either. He has a beating heart. And if he were hanging off a cliff, I hope everyone in this room would kneel down and give him a hand. And that's what we're doing tonight. It's intention. Think about it, change your way of thinking for an evening and see what happens. There's not much I can do without laying hands on the man, not that I would ever get that close. And there isn't bleach strong enough to. to cleanse me of that. So I'm not going to drag this out too much longer. What I want to do is ask everyone if they would raise their voices with me in an ohm, if that's okay, if it's not too hippy-dippy. Raise your voices and think forgiveness, think love. But I want you to do it in a militant way. You have to be a warrior of light. You have to be willing to get louder. You have to be willing to possibly receive harm to yourself without giving harm in return, if you want to change the state of the beautiful Mother Earth. She's screaming to us, she's saying, please, my children, I can take no more, please. And if we don't listen to her, guess what? The gods and goddesses are going to dip the dog. We are fleas on this dog, this beautiful dog we call Mother Earth. We are fleas, and we've been biting her too deep. So it's time to stop biting. I love you all. Raise your voices with me in an ohm, if you will. Jared, will you come up here for a moment and play the djembe for me? I'll just drop my piece of paper. Keep going. Think forgiveness, think change, think love. Forgiveness, change, love. Brother Jared's going to play just whatever he wants, leave it at that. And it's just to, if there are any demons or any negative energies, may they be entranced by the rhythm. May they be enlightened by our frequencies. And may they enter the flame so that when these candles are extinguished, they are set free and can enter a new realm and not do any more harm. But may these negative energies become new shining stars in the night sky, and may they awake to be guardian angels for the lost children so desperately in need. you for your participation. Thank you for your time. May we effect change in this world, and no matter what we do. And we'll continue with this because I don't think this is going to change overnight. But we can change overnight. We can change right now. So that as soon as my brother, when he's comfortable, when he wants to stop, he can stop. And I'm going to extinguish these candles and let all the negativity and the bad frequencies and the bad energies go out with that flame. I love you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for who you will continue to be. And help me make the world a better place. Reach down and help the assholes from the cliff. And love them. It drives them crazy.
Thank you.
Amen. Blessed be.
So, roll them if you got them.
Thank you all for coming. Stick around. We did a good thing tonight, and an important thing. See you next week.
Thank you.